What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the conversation with the tier, where we talk about life and how your mindset affects it all. Let's get to it. So I have to try to figure out how to put my partner's song on here without having to like use the mic and the speaker because y'all didn't see that last time. I kind of did that kind of smooth, like. But how I can play music from the computer and let it project through the speakers. I'm gonna figure it out. I was up last night until almost 12 o'clock. Had to be up at 3 o'clock this morning for work. I won't do that every night, but I was really trying to figure some things out on the computer when it came to my uploads. And opportunity costs. So you have to put that time in. You got to figure things out. I got off of work late last night, and when I came home, it wasn't time to go to bed. It wasn't time to go to sleep. It was time to finish out my day and make sure that I was giving so much of myself to my day. This goes into the topic of standards. I really want to play that song, y'all. Like I like that song. Ever felt like giving up when everything was going wrong? You don't know what to do. Do, 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 do. It's a real good tone. I like that. Anyway, this goes into standards because what standards are you setting for yourself? I uploaded a video earlier today about standards, and when I came home last night, it's like I have to have a standard for myself to where when I say be who you say you are, I can't come in front of the camera and outside of the camera, but I'm speaking to people, trying to help people progress in life and have the conversation. Real quick, if I can switch over real quick, I had a friend of mine, shout out to you, Leah, and she sent me something and she said she heard something that said, do not continue the conversation, create the conversation. So when I think about that, I think about who a person is and what you want in life when it comes to how you see the world. You're not jumping on the bandwagon of what something else is, but it's like what you actually want. What do you want out of life? And this is your creation. So going into that, it's like last night when I came home, is like I have to be who I say I am. I have to create. I have to be in these moments, in these times, and doing the things that I want to do. So I have to set a standard for myself. So even though I'm tired, I worked a full day yesterday and I'm up until 12, knowing I have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, that's not an excuse to be great because opportunity costs. What is the standard that you are setting for yourself? See, we can talk about standards in so many different areas of our life. And so right now I want to stick to you as a person. When you get up this morning and what are you doing as far as a standard? I know some people who are diligent and persistent and consistent at getting up in the morning to work out before they start their 12, 14, and or 16-hour day because they have a mindset of where they want to go and when they want to get there because they figured it out that this is how you get to the other side. They figured out that life is not a game. They figured out that you can have fun, you can play, you can enjoy life, you can be happy, but you cannot be happy when you have things you're dealing with mentally, emotionally, when you're struggling financially. A lot of these things, it really dictates how you move throughout life. Even though these emotions and feelings are a state of being, it still is a part of your day to day life. And certain things kind of help cushion some of the problems that you're going to run into when it comes to you living life, when it comes to you going through life, because you realizing, let me put myself in the best position so when these things do happen, I'm able to acclimate myself, adjust to what's going on so that I'm not caught off guard because I'm preparing for it. And that's why you have that you prepare for the worst, but you expect the best because of the standard that you live by. So when I came home last night, I'm like, I need to figure some things out when it comes to the show, when it comes to my segments, when it comes to my transition. I need to get back in front of this camera even more frequently than I have. So I have to start setting the standard for myself and saying, this is what you're going to do. And you're telling yourself that. And it's one thing to tell your mind that, but it's another thing for you to actually do it with action because your body doesn't always follow because you have to learn how to create these habits. How do you create the habit from setting the standard for yourself that I'm going to create a habit? I'm going to do this. Late night when I'm getting through doing a video, I still had to do some form of workout. Even though I want to do a longer workout, I still have to work out because why? I'm trying to have my physique look in a certain way. Health is wealth. I need to be as healthy as I continue to progress and move forward in life to make sure that my body is able to keep up, that I'm able to be physically fit, and that I'm confident in how I look. Your appearance is everything. It's how you feel about yourself. That's very important. Someone else can see you and thinking that, oh, you look great or whatever it may be, but they don't know. When I say health is wealth, I'm talking about mental health outside of physical health. I'm talking about emotional health. I'm talking about spiritual health because a lot of times we go through things eternally that a person cannot see from the outside, but you know what you're going through. So that's why I go back to standards. How are you helping yourself to become better? How are you helping yourself to progress to make sure that you're doing what's necessary to get to where you're trying to go because you are setting standards in your life? Hey man, can you hang out? No, I can't. I have to create content. I have to read this book. I have to study this new career field I'm trying to get into. I'm trying to figure out now that I made my money, how do I make my money work for me instead of me having to still work for my money from years to come? Because I don't know what's going to happen to me, my health, anything like that. But I'm still doing my best to make sure that I can control what I can control. What I can't is out of my hands, you know? So standards is very important for you to set in your life because now you are setting a standard for yourself to live up to and to live by and saying, I'm going to dedicate my time to working out. I'm going to dedicate my time to reading and educating myself in whatever field. I'm lacking in understanding when it comes to certain things. I don't understand why this is happening this way, but we live in an era to where information is very prevalent to us. You have, uh, you know, type it into a computer, you can find out so many different things of how can I become better? How can I increase my thinking? How can I increase my critical thinking? So there's so much to do, but you have to set standards for yourself before you even try to set standards for someone else. And there has to start being a standard too, I feel like, of the friendships that you have and with people. You have to start setting standards of the type of people that you are around. It's not that you are leaving people behind, but you are basically, telling people that they have to live up to a standard, not for you, but for themselves. Be a better version of you. We have to stop allowing each other to be operating and flying at bare minimum. I remember telling people before, because I learned this from listening to older people who were wise, who went through life. And I read the book, The Way of the Superior Man. And it's saying that when it came to alpha males are leaders. Alphas do not seek to control, they seek to lead. And when it came to these alpha males, they was very assertive, very persistent, very focused, driven, ambitious, and wise. And when a younger man was around these type of men, they wouldn't let that younger man operate on a level of mediocrity because you are around men who don't operate like that. One bad apple spoils the bunch. You can't be around us moving like that, son. Young man, you can't be around us doing what you're doing. You're going to be around us, you're going to elevate. We're going to challenge you to be better. Anything that they do is not to hurt or harm you, even if it comes off harsh, even if it comes off in a form of being harmful. Get out of your emotions, get out of your feelings. Understand that look where we are. We are here for a reason. Family, lifestyle, career, finances, mindset, community, environment, status. Not only status at jobs, but status with our friends, status in the community, who we are. And if you respect that because you want to be around that, understand that what we're telling you is not to belittle you or to sound condescending, even if it might sound that way. Let go of your feelings, let go of your emotions when it comes to that, and get the message. A lot of times people are not willing to receive the message if they cannot receive the messenger. A guy told me before, his name was Kelvin Green. He told me that you might not agree with everything that someone is saying, but don't dismiss everything that someone is saying because you don't agree with something that someone is saying. That'll be foolish. Chew the meat, throw the bone away. and or chew the meat, and the part that you want to throw away, keep it in the back of your head, and maybe you will see as you grow older that you might need that what you was trying to throw away or you put in the back because you're like, I don't see how that makes sense. Because my grandfather, Mike Walter, told me that just keep on living. And that simply meant what you think you know now, later on you'll realize, dang, I had that wrong. You misjudged that. Because a lot of times we think that we know more than what we actually know. So anyway, I want to make sure that you guys understand the importance of setting standards for yourself and setting standards for the people around you. And even when it comes to setting standards for the people that you are interacting with and people you are dating. This is how you properly vet when it comes to dating. This is how you properly understand where you want to be and how to get there. Because people are now living to a standard that is more comparable when it comes to what you're looking for. Because you are actually that. So now you know what it sounds like. You know what it looks like. You know what a person would be doing, what they would be doing in their day-to-day task. You can't be elevating and progressing in your life and you not doing the things that's necessary to actually progress. These are habits. And it's going to show when you're around people. It's going to show because a person's going to realize when I'm around this person, I feel different. The energy is different. I'm more driven. I can call this person and say, hey, man, like, let's do this. Let's get to this. Because why? They know that you are a person who's going to be a man of your word, a woman of your word. You're going to execute. They can depend on you. You will be an accountability partner. We have to surround ourselves with people who keeps us accountable, that keep us thinking. There's food for thought. You don't have to attach yourself to every part of something that someone is doing, but the part that is for you. You have to have those people, those friends, that person around you that can elevate you to make sure that you're moving in that place. So I don't want to get too far off, but I want to stick to this standard topic a little bit because I feel like that it's important for me to, like what Leah said, don't continue a conversation, create the conversation. And it's the conversation that I want to create when it comes to the standards of the people that you are surrounding yourself with, because you have to start thinking about over time when they say you are who you associate with, you are who you hang around, you are your closest friends. If you want to know where you're going to be in the next 2 to 5 years, you're going to be like the books you read and the people you hang around. So who are you hanging around? What are they doing in their life? How are they progressing? It's not a judgment. It's a realization. It's a awareness. Too many people are afraid to be honest with themselves and with each other, and you get too comfortable being around each other to where you just sitting there like, hey, I mean, this is just life. Like, this person is doing it, that person is doing it. But if you really sat down and quieted yourself and you ask yourself, am I where I want to be? No, I'm not. Did I think I would be here in my life at this time? No, I did not. Do you have a plan for your future? No, I do not. What are you doing about it? You're not doing anything about it. But it's not too late. Focus up. Set the standard in your life to make sure that you are and you will become what you want to become day by day. Do not try to do a quick fix. These things happen in time. So anyway, y'all, that's been my time. It's one love from me to you. Remember that it's progress, not perfection. You rest in the end, not the you rest in the end, not the middle. Do not forget when I say progress, not perfection, to mix up the fact that you're moving. Sometimes we move and we think that we're progressing, but you're just moving. Don't think because you went from one woman to another, she looks better than her, or he looks better than him, or this, that, and the other. Don't mistake progress, because when it comes to moving from relationship to relationship, how is this person actually elevating you and making you better? Be mindful when you connect with people, when a person is more interested in what you can do for them than what they can add to you. Either side. For a woman who's thinking that she's elevated, that she progressed because she went from one guy to another that making more money. She's more interested in what he's doing for her, externally versus internally that's making her better as a person. You're not always progressing through your relationships. You're just moving from person to person. Same thing when it comes to friendships. You thinking that now I'm around a certain group of friends that making more money, that I progress, but you left the friends that was more fundamentally morally sound, that had better character than the people that you around. Yeah, they have the money, but their character is very piss poor. Don't mistake your movement for progress, because you didn't progress when you met these friends. You became around people who only had money. That's all they had to offer. That's not going to last. When you're around people who have money but don't have the mindset, it's not going to last. That's why they say, show a man how to fish versus giving him a fish, because it doesn't last. With not having the right mind, when you have certain things, you're going to lose it. Not having the right mind when you have money, you're going to lose it. Not having the right mind when you have an opportunity, you're going to lose it. Not having the right mind when you have the right counterpart, the right companion, you're going to lose them. Because one, you don't have the standards for yourself. Two, you don't have the habit of being a certain type of person for that, at that standard. Three, you're mistaking movement for progress. So anyway, y'all, until next time, later.